Well, we can finally say it. The NBA regular season is about to get underway. And here at 2K Sports, we couldn't be happier. This is Kevin Harlan at the table alongside Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. We'll be hearing from David Aldridge from the sideline. Western Conference battles, always fun. This time, it's the San Antonio Spurs intent on protecting home court. This is the first they're seeing of the Timberwolves here. First game of the NBA's regular season for them. Guys, they came out on top of the season series matchup a season ago, taking 2 of the 3 away from them.
And they won the season series last year, trying to continue those winning ways this time around.
We are nearly ready for the tip-off, but first, let's hear from our very own David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Well, Jimmy Butler was the 30th overall pick in 2011, and he never forgets the hard work that made him a star out of a small town in Texas. Now, he says, I think it comes from not having much all my life. Coach Thibodeau said he became an all-star, got paid. None of that changed him. I don't think you can change him. Guys?
Great story, David. Thank you. Opening night of the regular season, blue sky for every team, Doris. Optimism is high. Players thinking about all the possibilities ahead.
No doubt. It's a time of tremendous optimism for both the teams and the fans of these teams. And the culmination of the work you put into the offseason, who's improved their skill level, who's added a dimension to their offensive game. We're all salivating for the start of this year.
Cannot wait.
Get a nice clean game, huh?
So the Timberwolves win the tip. And the starting lineup for the Timberwolves. Gibson plays the 4 with Towns in the middle. Teague runs the point with Butler at his side. They're the backcourt. And it's Wiggins in at the small forward position. Now DeRozan following the three-point attempt by Andrew Wiggins. Aldridge with a screen on Teague to the paint. Aldridge, the pass to Gay. Wiggins with some nice D. Outside Butler. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Butler's got his first 3 points of the game.
Well, Jeff Teague knows how to get by and find teammates. That's pretty right there.
And DeRozan kicks to Aldridge. And he uses the glass on the layup.
Yeah, good awareness there. He sees an opening and doesn't hesitate.
And that's not the type of defense you want to play, right? You've got to make it more difficult than that. Layups are too easy.
Now here's Wiggins over Gay. Goes to the fadeaway and cans it. Wiggins has got his first bucket of the night.
No, really smooth. Andrew Wiggins with the terrific mid-range game.
Murray kicks to Aldridge. Outside DeRozan. Back to Aldridge. Nice ball movement by San Antonio. Aldridge with a screen on Wiggins. No good from Gay.
Boy, with that much space around him, maybe he's better off attacking the basket than settling for the jumper.
Murray with it. Outside Aldridge. Gay outside. Over Gibson. Gay can't hit.
You know, the right thing there to try to fade away with the D all over him, but that is a difficult shot to sink.
And that one's good by Butler.
Boy, not a bad beginning. 3 for 4 from the floor. Pretty good start.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Murray the pass to Aldridge. Knocks it loose. Gibson with the steal. Trying to go for an alley-oop, but excellent defense and anticipation there to stop it. Gasol off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Boy, the assist just put on time and on target. Easy shot opportunity.
T kicks to Towns. With the teardrop, and Gasol sends it back.
And really, Gasol does an incredible job getting his hands up in the air, which results in a ton of rejection.
Listen, Kev, this guy, one of the more reliable scorers in the league, night in and night out.
3 from Gay, drills it from outside. Gay's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. inside Towns. Back to Wiggins. Stolen by Gay. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
And the thing about Rudy Gay, you never know when he's going to have a night where he just explodes. He's one of those guys that can just score in bunches.
First trip to the free throw line for him in this one.
Two shots.
That free throw, no good. And the Spurs now in the post-Kawhi Leonard era of the franchise. Greg, how do they recover, do you think?
If any team can survive losing a player of Kawhi's caliber, it's got to be the Spurs. They have good depth, got a good return in the trade, and players will step up. Won't be the power they once were for a while, but they'll rebound in no time.
And last summer, Minnesota's front office saying, Doris, they would like the Wolves to lean more on their bench.
It would be nice for Coach Tom Thibodeau to have the luxury of guys coming off the bench that he can trust. You've got to fortify the bench and then trust them to perform.
Love watching Gay stroke it from there. His in-between game is strong, measures it perfectly.
Now here's Wiggins. The pass to Gibson, kicks it to T. Towns, the screen. Teague can't hit. Spurs have gone 4-7 from the field, shooting over 50%. Murray, no good. Murray against Teague. That one good for 2. Teague's got his first points in this one.
I'll tell you, how about a high percentage opportunity from Jeff Teague? As a scorer, you love to get those easy ones.
Gasol screen. Here's Aldridge. Off the screen, and Aldridge slams it in.
And guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, his reputation. Grinding away 100% effort all the time.
So much tenacity. Really tries to outwork everyone around him.
And he's able to get it back. And he gets contact and the whistle on the shot. 2 shots coming up.
Well, a 7-footer who's got guard-like skills, who can shoot the lights out. Karl Anthony Towns is a problem, guys.
The Timberwolves shooting their first free throws of the night. The free throw drops for Towns.
How about Karl Anthony Towns, guys? At the age of 11, guess how tall he was? 6'3". So it was his goal to develop a complete skill set all the way back then. Boy, how about that? Ahead of the game in terms of the NBA.
Good on both. And talk about the mindset nowadays. Kids like Towns growing up not content to just play in the paint.
That's exactly right, Kevin. His father would divide their workouts into 2 halves. The first was face-up, dribbling, perimeter shooting. The second half of that workout, the interior, footwork, mic-and drills, finishing over either shoulder. Boy, that's a pretty smart dad. My goodness, get right in his grill and force him to alter the shot. That's tough defense in the post.
And this is why you got to be all over Butler defensively. When you lay off him for a second, he can scorch you with that pull-up J.
Now here's Murray. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. 6 to shoot. Outside for Gasol. Good, and the assist goes to Murray.
And I really like to see Gasol go up with the shot immediately after getting the pass. Shows how much confidence he has in himself.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on DeMar DeRozan. That's his first foul. And some changes here for the Spurs. Bellinelli, he's checked in for Gasol. And it's Mills in for Murray. Teague drives in, and it's Butler with the jam.
So much of that was the timing. Butler finishing, as you might expect from this guy.
And that Unleash Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. DeRozan, a screen on Butler. And Bellinelli kicks to DeRozan. Here's the screen. Passes it to Aldridge. 5 on the clock. Shot on the wing. The rebound by Gibson. Timberwolves leading by 3. Here's Butler. Oh, yes, he did. 5 up and 5 down for him so far.
And they've had assists now in their last 3 baskets.
Mills dishes to Gay. A rebound by the Timberwolves.
Well, they've been playing some tough defense on him in this period, and it's starting to affect him. This guy's having trouble finding the target right now.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
And San Antonio calls the first timeout of the game. Karl Anthony Towns, a tremendously talented scorer, but Dorsey came into the league billed as a potentially foundational defensive player.
And that's interesting, Kevin, because that's the end of the floor where he has work to do. You know, there's so much asked of today's centers, but with mentors like Kevin Garnett, Taj Gibson, Jimmy Butler, you know he's getting the right advice. And boy, what a gifted offensive player Karl Anthony Towns is.
And the Spurs with some changes. Hurdle comes in for Lamarcus Aldridge. And Davis Bertans subbed in for Rudy Gay. Minnesota also making some changes. Gorgie Dang comes in for Towns. And Derrick Rose is subbed in for Jeff Teague. Bertans kicks to Mills. The turnaround jumper. Headshot off. Timberwolves go the other way with it. Here's Gibson. Bertans grabs the board. Spurs trail by 7. Out to the right wing. And here's Mills for 3. Nice D from Rose. Butler passes to Rose. Got a hand on it. In transition, here come the Spurs. Pirtle dishes to Mills. Well, with Kawhi Leonard gone, a new era for the Spurs. Even with the addition of DeMar DeRozan, San Antonio looks to be entering their most significant rebuild in decades.
Yeah, but at least they were able to get a star in DeRozan. Now, I would call it more of a reload than a rebuild for the Spurs. Still a lot of talent to work with on that roster.
2 shots.
Free throw good. Mills. Doris, who are some of the players you watch that get stronger as the game goes on? They're not cut down by fatigue and still have that energy, something left in the tank.
Those guys who show me superhuman strength a la Kevin Harlan. Those guys who come to mind, LeBron James, that's a bad man. It doesn't matter if it's the first minute or the 48th minute. Russell Westbrook is indefatigable. His stamina and his ability to dominate in triple overtime once is absolutely incredible. And then what did we see from Anthony Davis when Boogie Cousins went down? A man who for 48 minutes on both ends is a problem. Those 3 men, Kevin.
Endless energy. Here's Mills. Jimmy Butler making his last shot. And stolen by Wiggins. Butler on the way. All alone. The shot, no good. Now San Antonio takes it the other way.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Here's Bertans. It's blocked. Wiggins against DeRozan. Fade away. Up and in. Off to an efficient start. 2 for 3 from the field.
He has a very well-rounded offensive game. There's just no shortage of ways Wiggins has to punish an opponent, inside, outside, or otherwise.
And looking now to numbers for DeRozan. Last season, he played outstanding. He averaged about 23 points a game last year, 5 assists and 4 rebounds. He has been at his most dynamic, no question about it, a real handful.
Let's make no mistake, one of the elite talents in the NBA and operating at the highest level right now.
And he makes the first. Gorgie Jang, the 21st pick in 2013 out of Louisville. He's more than lived up to that selection.
Well, let's remember, this is a national champion we're talking about. The Louisville Cardinals won it with him anchoring them defensively. He's also shown a nice shooting touch in the mid-range game in the professional leagues. But I think it's his defense that still remains the strength of his game. Well, you think about the Minnesota Timberwolves becoming one of the premier offensive teams in the league. They have a huge advantage in free throw attempts and limiting turnovers. 2 things that have really set this group apart.
And that's what you give up when you don't fight over the screen.
Right. The effort could have been so much better. You've got to be willing to fight through that screen. There's no question about it.
Yeah, you love the solid screen, but what you hate is just the inability to finish.
You know, that's okay, I think. Even though they miss, they still have to be happy with the shot selection.
Now here's Mills. He has 5. And Bellinelli kicks to Mills. Clock at 4. Over Rose. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. And Doris, you look at the Wolves offense. Have they maxed out how good they can be?
I think one area they have to look at is in this age of the three-pointer, they were one of the league's lowest in three-point attempts. To me, they've got to boost that number, and I think they also need to look to attack in transition. They've certainly got enough weapons.
Now here's Butler. 15 points in the game. And once again off the mark by Minnesota. And a wide open look for Walker. Not wasting any time and taking the shot and knocking it down.
And when Pirtle sees one of his guys wide open, he whips it his way. He's all for doing what's best for the team.
Here's Butler. The putback controls the rebound and puts it back up and in.
And folks, he did not luck into that one. He knew just where he wanted to be to grab that backboard.
Mills passes to Pirtle. Deflects the pass. Spurs trail by 8. And here's Mills for 3. Drains the three-pointer. Mills has got 8.
And they don't want to get in a habit of giving him open looks from 3. First quarter still, but not who you want to leave open.
Now here's Rose. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Here's Butler. But he stays with it.
I think they'll keep going to him more and more as they look to hang on to their lead. Why not with the way this guy is shooting it?
And Mills kicks to Pirtle. Back to Bellinelli. There's 31 seconds left in the first quarter. Walker the pass to Bertens. With the shot. A rebound by the Timberwolves. Jang's got rebound number 5 here tonight. Inside. And Butler gets it to go on the assist by Jones. And it's a 9-point Timberwolves lead.
They're consistently finding ways to get the ball inside and taking full advantage.
Mills, that's a 2-pointer. The top of the key jumper is on the mark. 10 points for him. And so it's Minnesota heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up the quarter. They've set the tone. They love their tempo. They're going to be very tough to stop. We've got more in store for you right after this. The trade deadline is approaching, and Jimmy Butler talked about how it feels hearing your name in trade rumors.
Rumors are different for everybody, to tell you the truth. For me, I don't think about it because whatever's going to happen is going to happen. You go out there and control what you can control. You know, try to help your team win games, play to the best of your abilities. And if it just so happens you get traded, then you got to suit up and play for the next team.
Staying level-headed and ready for whatever's next. That's Jimmy's mindset, Greg, in a nutshell.
And it's fair to say that the level of professionalism and maturity he possesses is really impressive.
All right, the second quarter beginning in just a moment. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from the Timberwolves?
I'll tell you, when you take care of the backboards, good things seem to happen.
Well, I think it's been a priority to hit the glass, no doubt, and using their length and athleticism to perfection on the boards.
We've got Mills. Bellinelli is out there with Pirtle, and it's Bertans in at the force line. That's the San Antonio 5. Rose, no good.
Boy, I didn't think he had a chance of stopping that lay-in. What a gutsy defensive play.
Mills can't hit.
And they have built their advantage on the scoreboard here by doing all the little things.
Spurs trail by 7. Now here is Pirtle, looking for his first basket still in this one. Over Jang. Back to Walker. Lock at 6. Drains it from beyond the arc. Walker's got the first points up on the board here in the second quarter for the Spurs. Timberwolves leading by 4. There's the pick. Here's Rose. A rebound by the Spurs. To the inside. Pirtle. And the dunk by Pirtle.
Well, I know he doesn't have to get too high to slam it home, but it doesn't take away from the force and the message sent on the dunk.
Pass to Chang. It's tipped. Now here is Pirtle. Chang defending. Mills can't hit.
He does the hard part. Gets through the defense all the way to the rim. I thought the finish would be the easy part.
And once again off the mark by Minnesota.
I think the one constant with Tom Thibodeau is you can always hear his voice the entire game. Doesn't matter if you're up 20 or down 20, you will hear Tom Thibodeau on the sideline.
Spurs trail by 4. And Walker kicks to Bertans. Fires the 3. Walker's shot is off. Timberwolves have gone 1 of 6 from the field in the second quarter. It's been a rough period so far. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Bellinelli. Pass to Bertans. Buries it from three-point range. Bertans got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Walker against Rose. There's the pick. And the pass to Tolliver. Chang, a screen. Here's Kuzminskis. No good from outside. Spurs have gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. Now here's Mills. He's tightly guarded. Bellinelli dishes to Pirtle. Pass to Bertans. 5 to shoot. Mills, that's a 2-pointer. It's in the bucket for his 4th field goal. Shooting at a 4 of 9 clip. Several lead changes going on here in the early portion of this game.
It reminds me of that cameo song, Back and Forth.
And the basket by Rose.
That's a really nice decision. Rose with the floater over the top. You don't have to take everything right to the rack.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over. Doors at times out there, things get a little heated. Some people feel like the whistle's being blown too quickly on some of these technical fouls. What do you think?
I would actually completely disagree, Kevin. I think there are certain players who are given far too much latitude and others for whom the whistle does come too quickly. So I think it would be better and more helpful to the officials, the teams, and also the fans to understand what is and what does cross a line. Because to me, there's no consistency, there's a lot of confusion, and I think it works both ways. Sometimes too long of a leash, sometimes too short.
Excellent appraisal. So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. And then for Minnesota, Karl Anthony Towns checked in for Jang. Andrew Wiggins comes in for Anthony Tolliver. And it's Teague in for Rose. Count the basket.
I mean, to me, Kevin Harlan, you simply cannot give DeMar DeRozan that kind of positioning. This guy has proven he loves getting inside and working his magic.
Now here's Jones. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. Towns, no luck.
Maybe not that time, but he'll hit more than his share if he's left open.
Oh, the lob to DeRozan. Hammers the alley-oop through.
Well, that's executing an alley-oop if ever I saw one. DeMar DeRozan, he loves these highlight reel plays.
Outside, Towns. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. They get Paul Gasol. The Timberwolves shooting their 5th and 6th free throws of the game. And he knocks down the first one.
And already a leader at such a young age. Towns' teammates look to him to anchor them on both ends, and he has not disappointed.
Minnesota making a switch here. Gibson's checked in. And Towns drops them both.
Boy, he's got a great stroke from the line. That's not something we can say about all the league's big guys.
Aldridge left side. Jones, no one around him. Second chance shot. Towns. And they had their chances. 2 offensive rebounds. But they still come up empty. In transition, here comes San Antonio. And here's Wiggins. Teague left side. He kicks it to Wiggins. Over Gabe. And the shot is long. Here's San Antonio now. They're on a 14-6 run. Murray outside. DeRozan with it. Picked up by Teague. San Antonio again missing. Timberwolves trail. Here's Wiggins. Tips it. And it's Towns on the follow. Towns has got 8 points.
Boy, how about the anticipation from Karl Anthony Towns? Beats everyone to the spot and goes right back up with it.
From 11 feet away, Aldridge misses. Minnesota's gone 0-2 from deep here in the second. Gibson passes to Towns. Here's Teague. Not going to go that time. Nice D from DeRozan. And a fast break now for the Spurs. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
2 shots. Foul. 2.
Well, the Timberwolves last year finally broke through that 14-year playoff drought, but they made it very clear that's not enough. This is a team with much bigger aspirations.
Shooting 2.
Free throw good, Murray. And the Timberwolves, Doris, plan to be aggressive, getting bounced in the first round. Not going to satisfy them.
They've made it clear they want deep playoff runs and a chance to compete for titles. To do that, they understand they'll need to get a lot better.
And so Murray nails both of them. And Minnesota has possession. Following this one, they get to host the Cavaliers. That game is the first and last of their homestand. Here's Towns, and that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 4 assists in the game.
I think you could see early on that he was really with a rhythm and flow tonight, and now he's really starting to take off.
Aldridge, good. Aldridge has got it all tied up now for San Antonio.
And the combination of his quickness and soft touch around the rim really allows him to pull off shots like that. A lot of players don't have the reverse in their arsenal.
Now here's Towns. 11 points in the game. Floats it up for Wiggins. A flawless finish on the alley-oop. And the Timberwolves lead by 2.
Well, Towns showing himself to be a willing facilitator. If you're open, he's going to find you.
Time called here. The Spurs decide to talk it over.
Well, you think about Andrew Wiggins, guys, signing that max deal in 2017. Timberwolves ownership, though, wanted to sit down with Wiggins to hear him commit to being a better player. Pretty unusual stuff.
Minnesota making a switch here. Butler's checked in.
And let's take a look at Karl Anthony Towns' numbers. Coming off a terrific season. 4th in rebounding, 11th in blocks, and a great touch around the rim. Top 15 in field goal percentage.
And he's so physical, so explosive. You really can't keep him off the glass when he wants to get there. That's why he was a top 5 rebounder a season ago. And here's Towns, following the 3 from Rudy Gay over Gasol. And again, it's Minnesota converting. And on the heels of that contract extension, all of Andrew Wiggins' shooting percentages fell last season. Doris, you think a cause for concern for the Timberwolves?
Well, I think obviously, Kevin, anytime you've committed almost $30 million a season to one guy, the expectations are going to be sky high. For me, Andrew Wiggins needs to just stay consistent. We are talking about a guy with elite athleticism, plenty to take advantage on the offensive end. It's a question for me of, does Andrew Wiggins want to be great? Because the potential is there.
Chalk up 2 there.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
Murray outside. Out to the right wing. Good looking screen by Gasol. A 3 ball. Andrew Wiggins grabs the board. Wiggins has got his 3rd rebound tonight. Some firepower from this offense tonight.
Yeah, they got a nice groove going right now offensively.
Feeds it to Aldridge. Spurs passing it around. Here's Murray, and he's fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming up.
Well, this is where DeMar DeRozan proves he is the real deal. Not only a skilled scorer, skilled at finding his teammates as well.
For San Antonio, they have shot a good percentage from the free throw line so far. They've made 5 out of 6.
Yeah, and fairly decent a season ago, about 77% from the line.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. 1 shot.
Free throw good, Murray. Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the 2nd quarter. And Gibson kicks to Butler. Here's Towns. And Gibson now top the key. On the wing, Wiggins. He's covered by Murray. Just 5 on the clock. And if Wiggins missing, San Antonio's gone past the 3-point line for 13 of their shots. 6 of 13. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Teague. Aldridge wide open. He fires. No good on the quick 3. Minnesota shooting not great. 40% for the game. Here's Gibson. A rebound by the Spurs.
Well, it looks like he's going to get the easy 2 points, but the defense recovers just in time to effect it.
And the foul on Andrew Wiggins. That'll be his 2nd foul of the game. Murray with it. Picked up by Teague. A 3 from Gay.
and he has not been able to keep up that pace he had going in the first quarter.
Here's Towns, and it doesn't even draw either. And for the Spurs, they're shooting 41% from the field in the second quarter up to this point.
And Pau Gasol really on the tail end of what has been a Hall of Fame career. He's a two-time champion, international star, nothing left to prove, but still manages to put up points with his sharp approach to the game.
Now, gentlemen, two shots. Move shots.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. And with Pau Gasol, even after almost 2 decades in the league, Greg, he is still a very effective player.
You know, Pau just never seems to get credit for how smart a player he is. When he makes a play on offense, he knows exactly how a defense will react, what will open up, and what the best options are. Kobe knows just how great a teammate Gasol is, and Gasol's knowledge of the game really on an elite level.
Now here's Teague. Here's Towns. Butler. Good, and the assist goes to Towns. Towns has got 4 assists now tonight.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Aldridge against Gibson. Aldridge inside, and the dunk by Aldridge.
And that's an example of willpower right there, guys. I mean, grabbing the offensive rebound and then going back up strong.
And GA, in a close game like this where every possession is critical, that could prove to be a very big one.
Yeah, he saw he had a huge opportunity to help his team. Score is tight-knit, and he comes through.
Here's Murray following the basket by Andrew Wiggins. Murray, the pass to Aldridge, and stolen by Jeff Teague. And now Minnesota on the fast break. Wiggins with the ball.
Well, late rotation by the defense, and Wiggins has the vision to find the open man.
San Antonio trailing here. Murray outside. Kicks it to Aldridge. 1:09 left now here in the second. Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. And it's Towns missing.
As long as they can hang on to this lead, he won't have to answer for what's been an off night for him.
And that's out of bounds. San Antonio will retain possession. Gallinelli, he's checked in for the Spurs. Mills comes in for Murray. Jang, he's checked in for the Timberwolves. 51 seconds left in the second quarter. Aldridge with a screen on Teague. Clock at 6. Mills dishes to Aldridge. And it's good with time running down in the shot clock. Aldridge has got the game tied up here for the Spurs. Teague kicks to Wiggins. Sinks the 15-footer. Wiggins has got 8 points in the quarter.
What a phenomenal quarter from the field. A great shooting percentage, excellent shots. This is really well done.
Now Mills. 12 points for him. The Spurs need to get a shot off here. And it's DeRozan missing. And we're through the first half of basketball here in what's been a good one. The Timberwolves on top. They lead by 2. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Kevin, thanks. Here with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy, you have come a long way in this league. When you look at your career now versus when you came in, how different is it?
Much different. I think on the floor, I'm supposed to do a lot more on both ends of the floor. And off the floor, I think it's still the same. People recognize my hair.
Well, it is a unique style. Jimmy, thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, David, thank you. We'll be back after halftime for the start of the third quarter.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. Big-time play throughout the first half for Jimmy Butler. He had 21 points and 2 rebounds. In their previous game, he had a performance he said he wanted to put behind him quickly, and so far he's doing just that with the nice first half he had here. And Kenny, what did you see out there from the Timberwolves?
Well, I like the effort on the boards because a game could come down to just a few key possessions, and extra rebounds can give you those extra possessions if you work at it.
Shaq, let's get your thoughts on San Antonio.
Well, one thing happened that really helped them out. Their bench came in and played absolutely beautiful. Gave them a huge boost. Not just trying to hold court, but actually putting points on the scoreboard. These guys should be starting, Ernie.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
We welcome you back to San Antonio. Always so much to do along the Riverwalk, which this bridge spans, such a vibrant part of the city. Here we go now, the start of the third quarter, welcoming you back in a closely contested first half so far. We are seeing a tremendous game from Jimmy Butler.
His points production thus far off the charts. It's only been 2 quarters, just a great effort for him for the entire half.
I don't think you could ask for anything more from this guy. He has been fantastic to start this one.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for the second half of basketball. So on the floor for Minnesota, Gibson plays the 4 with Towns in the middle. Butler teams with Wiggins as the deadly wing duo. And it's Teague in at the point. Here's Teague following the score by DeMar DeRozan. Towns the screen. Wiggins with it. Gasol covering. Wiggins kicks to Butler. Just 5 to shoot. A 3. A rebound by the Spurs. Aldridge has got his 4th rebound in this one. Pass to Murray. Oh, the lob to DeRozan. And the ball travels out of bounds. It was last touched by Wiggins. Here's what the Minnesota Timberwolves have lined up on their schedule. On Friday, they'll take on Kevin Love and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Then on Saturday, they'll face off against DeAndre Jordan and the Dallas Mavericks.
And that game against the Pacers, it's always interesting for top teams to see how they compare to the best in the East. This will be a chance to see just what this group is made of.
Here's T, following the score by DeMar DeRozan.
Over the course of time, the elevation in Jimmy Butler's game has been incredible. This guy is lethal offensively.
The feed to DeRozan. And Butler sends it back. Wiggins against Gay. And Wiggins gets it to go on the assist by Towns. Towns has got assist number 5 here tonight. For San Antonio, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field to start the second half. DeRozan passes to Aldridge. Goes back up. And he overdid it there. Too much force, it looked like, on the foul, and he's called for the flagrant.
Boy, a very hard foul that time, and the officials had to slap him with the flagrant. I mean, you can't let him get away with that kind of contact.
Yeah, gee, that's an easy call for the officials to make when there's that much contact. The league is really cracking down on those sort of plays. That free throw good from Aldridge. And many thought Lamarcus Aldridge was on a downswing in his career, but boy, were they wrong.
You know, Aldridge silenced a lot of critics with his play last season. I mean, in a league that has very few great low-post players, he demonstrated he's still one of the best. Has so many moves and tricks in his game, and when he gets the ball down low, the defense really has very little to do with it.
Here's DeRozan. Not enough on that one as it misses.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Right, perfect contest in that instance, Greg, making it really hard on the shooter to have any kind of space at all.
Now here's Murray. Following the miss by Andrew Wiggins. Murray kicks to DeRozan. Pass to Aldridge. Murray with it. They set the pick. Here's Gasol. 6 on the shot clock.
Well, his value to this team on both ends. Not many guys can defend the perimeter and the rim the way Towns can.
And something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Yeah, that's not a good example right there. You could have worked it around to get a better opportunity.
Now Butler. Following Rudy Gay's three-point attempt. Wiggins from outside. Rebound by Murray. And San Antonio shooting a pretty brutal 29% since the break. And stolen by Butler. And stolen by Murray. This break in the game gives us a chance to look at the teams with the most points off turnovers last season. In fourth, the Timberwolves.
And they turned all those mistakes into points at the other end. That aggressive style really yielding big dividends.
And free throw good from Gay. Rose, he's checked in for Minnesota. So he gets them both.
Impeccable from the line since halftime.
Minnesota's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Wiggins outside. Now the pass to Butler. Towns, a screen on DeRozan. Butler kicks to Gibson. They get it again. Towns. It's deflected. The wide open look here for DeRozan. Again, the miss by the Spurs.
Now kicking himself on that one. That is the shot he wanted.
Well, that's usually money in the bank for that guy. Not sure how he missed that one.
How about the passing? They are moving the ball without any thought, without any individual agenda.
Here's Aldridge. Following the score by Taj Gibson. Tries from 10. Aldridge. Good. Aldridge has got 14. Just over 3.5 minutes through the third quarter of play now. Towns, the screen. Here's Wiggins. That one off the back iron and out. San Antonio leading. Here's DeRozan. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. Doris, with DeRozan, when he's on with his shot, he's one of the great scorers in the NBA.
No question, Kevin. He exploded for 52 points in a game last season. This guy can score from anywhere on the floor when he's dialed in. Boy, there are nights you just have no answer for him.
That's good from DeRozan.
To me, DeMar DeRozan had a special year last year. And the reason I say that is he changed his game. We knew he was a great scorer. But what he did was expand his three-point shooting capability, and he became much more of a facilitator. There's a ton to love about DeMar DeRozan.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Pirtle, he's checked in for Gasol. Pearson comes in for Lamarcus Aldridge. And Walker subbed in for Rudy Gay.
Boy, he's just been so consistent, right? I mean, every time he's gotten to the stripe, he's delivered. This is great stuff.
Kuzminskis kicks to Rose. Shot clock at 6. Towns, a screen on Murray. Excellent use of the screen that time. He He has 5. Doris, with DeRozan and his improved passing, you could see it in his play.
Well, I think DeMar DeRozan recognized that in today's NBA, you've got to have more than 1 or 2 offensive threats. So give this guy credit for working on his playmaking ability.
The shot by Butler, nobody around. Yes, and it's Rose with the assist that time.
Boy, great rhythm on the jumper. Every year, Butler gains more and more confidence in that catch-and-shoot game.
Murray, the pass to Purtle. Puts it up from 17. Wow, way off on that one. Minnesota in the lead. Outside, Towns. And stolen by Murray. And it's Murray with the jam.
And guys, that's a big swing right there. I mean, taking the steal and then turning it into 2 easy points on the dunk.
No telling how important that sequence could turn out to be.
Yeah, you know, sometimes your gut tells you to take a shot at the pick and then big move to keep the pressure on.
Here's Towns following the bucket by the Spurs. 6 on the shot clock. And they double up Butler. 3-pointer. You can't get that one. Walker with some nice deep. San Antonio's gone 0 of 2 from deep to start things here in the second half. And it's DeRozan missing. Minnesota's gone 2 of 5 with the 3-point shot since coming out of the break. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. And to look now at the 4 areas where shots can come from, the paint, mid-range, and shots from deep, all broken down for the Spurs.
And they've pretty much ignored the corner 3 tonight. It's a useful shot to have. It really forces the D out wide and opens things up in the middle.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
No good on the free throw. Bellinelli, he's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And a change for the Timberwolves. Jones checked in for Karl Anthony Towns. And he sinks the second.
Yeah, he gets them the lead at the free throw line despite the 1 miss.
San Antonio trailing here. Murray kicks to Purtle. Back to Murray. To the wing right side. There's a screen from deep. Walker drills it from outside. Walker's got 8 points. A great competitive game so far.
And from the look of it, this one could go right down to the wire.
Rose against Murray. Rose dishes to Tolliver. Stolen by Walker. And here's the fast break. Walker leading the way. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. It's going to go on Tyus Jones.
2 shots, gentlemen.
Walker.
2.
Taking 2 shots.
No good on the free throw. Spurs making a switch here. Mills is checked in. The Timberwolves also with the sub. Zhang's checked in. And the second free throw, good. Timberwolves trail by 3. Jones kicks to Rose. Zhang with the screen for Rose. Shoots over Walker. Another miss by Minnesota. San Antonio's gone 1 of 4 in 3-point shots here in the third. Over Rose. Rebound by Zhang. Zhang's got rebound number 8 now on the night. Here's Kuzminskis. Bellinelli is covering. Walker against Rose. Back to Kuzminskis. Just 5 to shoot. Over Bellinelli. They get it back. Here's Tolliver. But they'll get another chance. San Antonio leading by 3. Down low. Here's Bertanis. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. And he's got his first free throw of the game.
Really can't criticize the work he did at the line a year ago. 82% on the season.
2 shots.
And the first one drops. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. Timberwolves trail by 5. Jones kicks to Kuzminskas. There's the pick. Zhang a screen. Here's Kuzminskas. Just 5 on the clock. Over Bellinelli. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time. This is the list of last season's top shooters from the charity stripe. These guys were practically automatic. Well, you look at Bellinelli, 4th in the league, and as consistent as they come at the free throw line.
He was locked and loaded from the free throw line all season. Never suffered through any real lulls in that department.
Poked away. There's Tennis, the pass to Bellinelli. Walker against Rose. Off the screen, Walker. He's off on that one. And Minnesota now the other way. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
Kevin, the vision by Rose, right? Hits the open man. He's creating for others, and this guy is so tough to deal with.
Now, here's Mills. He's got 12. They set the pick. That falls. Nice feed that time from Walker. Mills has got the lead up to 5 now for San Antonio. Now here's Jones, covered by Mills. Outside Rose. Shoots over Walker, and an air ball on that one. Way off.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
And again, it's the Spurs from deep.
Yeah, great outside shooting, really fueling this run.
Timberwolves trail by 8. Jones with it. Passes it to Kuzminskas. Back to Jones. Nice ball movement by Minnesota. And again, Minnesota with the triple.
Okay, we got a nice little back and forth going here.
Well, I love how personal this thing is getting. If you drain a 3 on me, anything you can do, I can do better.
Now here's Mills. He's got 15. Pulls up on the wing. It's not going to go for him. It's his 6th miss. He's 5 for 11. Here's Rose. Here's Zhang. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That one on Jakob Poeltl.
Now, this is a guy who was 63% from the free throw line his first year. Zhang now has transformed himself into a very good free throw shooter.
Shooting 2.
And the first one drops. Lamarcus Aldridge, he's checked in for San Antonio. And then for Minnesota, Wiggins is checked in for Kuzminskas. And it's Teague in for Derrick Rose. And Zhang drops them both. San Antonio leading by 3. And Mills kicks to Poeltl. Pass to Bellinelli. Aldridge Aldridge down low. Working on Tolliver. And it's Aldridge missing.
Well, they know not to leave him open from mid-range, and they're all over him on that shot.
Teague can't hit.
Affecting the shot in a big way there. Excellent defense.
Well, you talk about getting into the space of the shooter. This is how you defend the paint.
Now here's Mills. He's got 15. This is his second trip to the line in this one.
Spurs. Mills. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good. A different look now for San Antonio. Pau Gasol's checked in for Pirtle, and Rudy Gay is subbed in for Bertans. Taj Gibson's checked in for the Timberwolves. Jimmy Butler comes in for Jones. He's perfect from the line this time. Timberwolves trail by 5. Jang a screen. T kicks to Gibson. He dishes it to Butler. Gasol with the rebound. Gasol's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Gay left side. Back to Aldridge. Butler against Bellinelli. Gay in the corner. Drills the three-pointer. Gay's got 5 points now in the quarter.
I love how Gay keeps the ball high, not allowing the defense to block it. His length really comes in handy.
Now here's Wiggins. He's got 14, and it's Butler missing.
And a good opportunity here to go 2 for 1.
Let's see what they do here, Greg, right? Because you know they want to get a couple of possessions out of the time left.
And Mills kicks to Gasol. Now here's Mills. Teague covering. Shot clock at 5. Lets it go with a 3. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Inside. Stolen by Gay. And here comes Bellinelli leading the fast break. Pass to Aldridge. The high post shot. And that one, good. Aldridge has got 16 points.
His mid-range game is what sets Aldridge apart from the other bigs in our league. He's about as accurate a shooter as you'll find among players with his size.
And so it's the San Antonio Spurs with a 10-point lead, some breathing room heading into the break, and their three-point shooting has paved the way for them. We've got more in store for you right after this. Now let's hear what Coach Tom Thibodeau was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
Everyone talking down there. Rebound and run. Rebound and run. Got to work our way back now. Work our way back.
Well, he's trying to up his team's energy right now.
And Kevin, as he said, they got to push it once they get rebounds, and that'll help them get back into this one.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter action starting up. 2K Sports, happy to have you with us. Gay is the 3 with Aldridge at the 4. Mills at point with Bellinelli. They're the backcourt. And it's Gasol at the center position. That's the San Antonio 5.
Well, Taj Gibson has built his NBA game on his ability to rebound the basketball consistently. What a great nose for it he has.
They set the screen. Gasol. Terrific design on the pick play, and he lays it in. Gasol's got the lead up to 10 now for the Spurs. Timberwolves shooting a lackluster 38% for the game, struggling so far. Wiggins outside, and Gibson kicks to T. Gibson setting a pick for T. 6 to shoot. Wiggins right side. That's good, and so Teague with the assist. Teague's got his 7th assist of the game with that last one. Fourth quarter still young, just over a minute play. Here's Aldridge. Great D that time from Gibson.
Really surprising to see the huge edge they have in rebounds, given what the scoreboard says.
Spurs leading by 7. Feeds to Mills. Over Jang. Hits the front of the rim and out.
And as he squares up for mid-range, the defender right in his face.
Well, classic example of crowding the shooter, not letting him get comfortable in the mid-range.
You got to respect those long arms of Gay. I mean, superb at swatting shots away with those big hands. Just a terrific effort on the offensive glass. That's how they're going to cut into this lead.
And Greg, a dunk like that is sure to give them a spark. Mills passes to Aldridge. To the paint. And Pau Gasol, the bucket on the assist by Aldridge. Aldridge has got 4 assists in the game.
Love that dish down low.
I think tonight is a great measure of Wiggins' progress, scoring in volume in a variety of ways.
We're in the 4th quarter here, just under 2.5 minutes gone. And Gorgie Jang is going to pick up the foul. That's foul number 2 for him. And the Spurs with some changes. DeMar DeRozan comes in for Marco Bellinelli. And Murray subbed in for Patty Mills. And a change for the Timberwolves. Towns is checked in. DeRozan gets room off the pick. And right on target. Good. And the Spurs lead by 7.
And you like to see since the half now, he's finally starting to come around.
Towns kicks to Wiggins. Over Gay. Here's Gibson. And it's sent back by Aldridge. Outside, DeRozan. Gay with no one around. A 3-pointer off the mark. Timberwolves trail by 7. Outside, Towns. Back to Gibson. Here's Teague. DeMar DeRozan grabs the board.
Well, yeah, I mean, you want to give your offense a chance, and that possession didn't do it.
Not at all, Craig. I mean, no reason for him to be taking these kinds of shots. He has only himself to blame.
Here's Butler trying to get open as Gibson. Second shot opportunity. Shot's good from Butler.
Well, Jimmy Butler is capable as an offensive rebounder. You've got to check him out.
It's tipped. And out of bounds as the Timberwolves gain possession. Minnesota's gone outside a lot tonight. 17 times, in fact. 7 of 17. T kicks to Gibson. And stolen by Aldridge. And stolen by Jeff T. There's the lob to Towns. 3 from Gay. And a great assist by Aldridge as that one goes in. And that's 17 points for Gay. Teague against Murray. Here's Wiggins. That shot is off. Some solid defense from Gay. There's the dish to Murray. He kicks to Aldridge. Over Gibson. Misses off the right iron. Timberwolves trail by 8. The putback. Rebound San Antonio. Murray's got rebound number 5 here tonight. And there's the call on Karl Anthony Towns. That's his 4th foul of the contest.
Boy, plenty of time left in the clock. He needs to keep his poise. That's his 4th foul now.
To the left wing. Murray kicks to Gay. And there's the pass to Murray.
I'll tell you, they've had to look elsewhere for their scoring, and they've gotten it. This guy has had very little impact on the game offensively.
Here's Gay, and he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line.
Shooting from San Antonio, Rudy Gay. Taking 2 shots.
First free throw is good. Rudy Gay hits them both. We know James Harden joined Durant and Westbrook in winning league MVP honors. Doris, had those three stayed together in Oklahoma City, is there any doubt in your mind that they would have won at least one NBA championship?
Well, you think back to the time they worked together, and they did go to an NBA Finals and ended up being eliminated by LeBron James and the Miami Heat. So obviously, you like the opportunity they would have had to go to more. And let's give a little credit to the great GM of the Oklahoma City franchise, Sam Presti, who is responsible for the drafting of 3 MVP candidates. That in and of itself is quite remarkable. But you know this, Kevin. Success and failure, there is such a fine line. And there's a tenuous nature to things. An injury at the wrong time. So many times this trio was tripped up by an untimely situation. So, I mean, if they stay together, yes, you like their chances, but this is why history states otherwise.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, guys. I listened to Tom Thibodeau talking to his team during the break. No surprise, he was not happy with the turnovers. He told them, we are giving this one away, guys. We've got to be more careful with the ball, play within the offense, and get good open shots. Kevin?
And that one falls for Lamarcus Aldridge. And that's good as he hits both of his shots.
He's forcing the action now, finally getting to the charity stripe after no freebies in the first half.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And Rudy Gay picks up the foul. That's his first foul. Towns dishes to T. Towns a screen on Murray. Back to Towns. Wants to get it to Butler and does. The kick out to Towns. Clock is at 3. Wiggins from outside, and he gets it back. And they force the shot clock violation. Great D. Here's Gasol. Good, and the assist goes to Murray. 12 points for Pau Gasol.
Indicative of what we've seen tonight. One team being the aggressor, the other failing to react.
Right, really a disappointing effort on the defensive end, not offering any challenge at all at the cup.
One-on-one here. Here's Gay. That shot, no good. Timberwolves go the other way with it. Here's Butler. That one's off, still out of sync.
No question he's having a bad quarter, so somebody else needs to take charge of the scoring if they're going to cut into this deficit.
DeRozan's shot is off.
Now that's where they want to go with the ball. They can tolerate a few misses as long as he gets his touches inside.
And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And you look at Jeff Teague, now with a decade in the league out of Wake Forest. Greg, what does he bring to the table aside from the fact that he's been in the playoffs every single year of his career?
Yeah, I mean, he's an explosive slasher and really has grown as a playmaker. Not a star, but a quality starting point guard.
Shooting 2.
And the first one at the line is good. Jeff Teague replacing Ricky Rubio at the point guard position for the Timberwolves. Doris, did you like that change?
You know what I did, Kevin? They're drastically different players. Rubio probably the better defensive player, definitely the more prolific passer, but the shooting was always an issue. Where with Teague, you get a guy who can knock down three-point shots, and he's one of the best point guards in the league at dribble driving into the paint and getting some action off that.
And as you would expect from the way he plays, Teague is a terrific free throw shooter.
DeRozan against Gibson. DeRozan, that's good. And the Spurs lead by 16.
And he can smell blood in the water. Excellent finish.
I'll tell you, you got to admire the energy. This guy really wants to put this one away.
Here's the feed to Butler. Shoots over DeRozan. The Timberwolves again can't hit.
And since halftime, he has just been ice cold. Just can't seem to get anything to go his way.
Throws down the alley-oop slam.
And how sweet a play was that?
As sweet as it gets. An exquisite pass to set up the powerful alley-oop dunk. And a tremendous Unleash Chaos replay coming to you courtesy of Under Armour Hover Hammock. Gasol with the steal. DeRozan passes to Aldridge. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
For your Spurs, Lamarcus Aldridge. Taking 2 shots.
And the first one at the line is good. He hits both from the stripe. Doris, what is your solution to the controversy surrounding one and dones?
Kevin, I believe the one and dones will be a thing of the past, and I think it will happen shortly. And the reason that can now become a viable option is the G League holds the key. You can now allow players to enter into the minor league straight out of high school. If they raise the salary of those G League players, then it helps across the board.
T kicks to Gibson. Outside Butler. The Timberwolves working the ball around now. Towns. Fader on the way. It's hauled in by Lamarcus Aldridge. Aldridge has got 9 rebounds now tonight. A 3-ball. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Gasol's got his 3rd assist on the night.
And they're just dominating on both ends. And it's reflected now in the score.
Oh, absolutely, Greg. They're absolutely rolling in sync totally on both the offensive and defensive ends.
Here's Gay, and the Spurs scoring again.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Teague against Murray. Wiggins dishes to Teague. Gay with the block. Now here's Murray. And Gibson sends it back.
Boy, Gibson's so good at timing these rejections. Twice on the pipes from Taj.
Here's Towns. Their offense stone cold. Another miss there. Murray kicks to Gasol. Throws it down as the official calls the foul. It may be a 3-point play. Taj Gibson picks one up.
And the one-hand slam just looks so pretty when it's in his hand and he's the one doing the slam.
Agreed. He is smooth as silk, even on a power finish. So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Pirtle, he is checked in for Aldridge. Davis Bertans comes in for Rudy Gay. Walker's checked in for DeMar DeRozan. And it's Mills in for Murray. That free throw good from Gasol. You look at the state of the game, international leagues getting better and better, Doris. There's no doubt about it. We see it at Olympic times and during FIBA play in between. We see a lot of NBA players who have spent time abroad, and I think they come back better.
I don't think there's any doubt about that, Kevin. I think wherever you can hone your craft and do it in a competitive environment where winning and losing is at stake on a nightly basis, it has so many opportunities for learning and growth. So, okay, I can't turn it over 5 times in a competitive environment, regardless of what league I'm playing in, because that's to the detriment of my team. If I'm lazy on the defensive end, I'm going to get exposed by good offensive players. To me, Kev, I love any time there's competitive basketball being played. I want to watch it.
Love that answer.
2 shots. Last on the first.
First one falls for him. Dante Cunningham's checked in for Pau Gasol. And both free throws good for Mills. Minnesota's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Rose passes to Kuzminskis. Here's Paige Diop, covered by Mills. They set the pick. 5 to shoot. Rose kicks to Jones. The Timberwolves again can't hit. San Antonio's gotten off 4 3-pointers in the final quarter, and 2 of them have fallen.
Well, guys, this was never really a contest, just a total obliteration, if you will, and you can safely say mission accomplished now for the Spurs.
And this was one that never really was in doubt, I thought, an all-around dominant performance. And you kind of thought that maybe even going into the game.
Yeah, there was a sense of that, and man, they just pretty much blew them right out of the water. A clinic was put on display here today.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
They can chalk this one up, but these 2 teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And something we've come to almost expect is greatness from this guy. Such an overall great performance it was for Aldridge.
He affected the game so much with the way he was able to come out and get steals and extra possessions for his team.
And he's able to get it back.
That's his first personal foul, 3rd team foul. At the line for 2.
Shooting 2.
First free throw is good. And that one goes in. 2 from the line that time. One thing we've seen from these guys is excellent passing.
No doubt about it. It's fun to watch the way they're operating as a team right now. They are all in sync.
And here's Mills. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. They poured it on tonight. Dominant showing in front of a crowd that loved every minute of it.
And, you know, this game could really be a defining one for what they can do when they are playing at their best. I mean, being here at home, no doubt helps, and the execution was flawless.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Lamar, big effort tonight. What is the state of mind of this club right now?
We focus in on the defensive end. We know if we get stops, we can definitely score whenever we want.
And you got it done tonight, DeMar. Thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about does it for the first game of the new NBA season. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thanks for tuning in. So long.